All right, guys, so in this video, we're going to be building a multi-parameter search filter using the Django filter package. So this is going to make our tables very dynamic and allow us to search in a whole bunch of different ways. So I want to show you a quick demo. And in this example, I'm going to search for all products with the value of futon. And I want to narrow this down and search for all products with the value of futon and the status of pending. So you can see that I'm chaining my search down, and I can do this by multiple model attributes. So I can do things like contains matches, which let me find something that has the value of only a few letters. So in this example, we have this note, and I'm going to start with a HE. And if I narrow this down to hello W, you can see that my search is finding values based on what contains what I'm typing in. So we're able to do things like that, do things like date range matches, and so on. So this is a very cool library that we're going to start with. And we're going to run a quick pip install and actually put this into our installed apps here and start working with this. So go ahead and open up your command prompt. And if you don't already, go ahead and run pip install Django-filter. And I already have this, so it's going to tell me I'm okay, but go ahead and let the install run. And once that's complete, open up your project and go to settings.py. And in here, we just need to let installed apps know about this new package. So we're going to do Django_filters. And once we have that, we can actually create a file called filters.py. And it's going to be very similar to forms.py if you were following the models video. It's very similar to model forms. So in our app called accounts, we're going to create a file called filters.py. And we're going to be building a filter based around a model. So it's going to be a lot like a model form again. That's going to build a filter form for us based on all of these attributes. So our model is going to be order. So in filters.py, go ahead and run this import really quick. So start with import Django_filters. And that's that library we just installed. And go ahead and import your model. So from .models, import, and we're just going to import all of them. So we're going to do star, and that's because models and filter are in the same directory there. And now let's build a Python class that's going to build a filter for us. So we're going to do class, and we're going to call our filter order. So the model name and filter, and you can actually call it whatever you want. This is just a naming convention I like. So order filter is going to inherit from Django_filters dot filter with a capital F and set. That's going to be a capital S. So that's our class. And now we're going to do class meta. And we need a minimum of 2 attributes. So the first one is the model that we're going to be building a filter for. And that's going to be this order model right here. And we're going to build a fields attribute. And that's basically saying which fields do we want to allow. And for now, we want to allow all of them just so I can show you what the form looks like. So we're just going to say __all __. So now in our views, we can go ahead and import this. So I'm going to move this to the right so we can see it. Oops. And let's import the filters. So we're going to do from.filters, import order filter. And now that we have that, let's go down to the view that we want to render this out with. So it's going to be in our customer page, and I'm going to quickly turn on the server just so we can see everything. So python manage.py run server. And I also closed out that project that I started the tutorial with. I just wanted to use that as a demo reference. So let's make sure everything's refreshed, and let's go to Peter Piper. Actually, let's go to John Doe because he has more products. So we're going to search this customer here. So in the customer template, and we're going to call the variable my filter, and that's going to be a capital F. And now we can use the filter we just imported. So again, very similar to model forms. So order filter, let's render this out in our template now. So I'm going to pass it into context. And I'll explain, I'll first render it out, and then I'll explain what's actually happening here. So let's just pass this in. And now in our template, we can render this out just like we would any other form. So let's go ahead and open up customer.html, and that's where my page is. And right here is where we're going to build that. So I already pre-built a form, so I'll create some space here, and we can pass in a filter with a template tag here. So I can do this template tag, the 2 curly braces, and I called it my filter, so we can pass it in like this. And I'll actually pass it in blank like this, and then we're actually going to style it a little bit. Whoops, something went wrong here. Oh, that's right. So I need to call it myFilter.form. So there's a little bit of a different convention in how we're calling this. And now I should have it. So what we're seeing here are all the attributes of our model. And this is a form, but this is meant to actually search our model and actually render these down. So let's go ahead and actually perform a query and process this information. So we're actually gonna have to configure our view a little bit more, so it's actually gonna render these orders down. So the order filter is gonna take in request.get. So we're actually gonna send request data to this view, and it's gonna take in a query set. And the query set is gonna be these orders here. So it's gonna take in this, we're first gonna query all the orders. We're going to throw them into this filter, and then based on what that request data is, we're going to actually filter this data down. So we're going to throw in our query set, and then we're actually going to rebuild that variable. We can change the name. I'm going to keep it the same. So orders is now going to equal to myFilter.qs. So myFilter.querySet. So basically what's happening here is this data gets rendered, thrown into the filter. If we have any parameters, it cleans it, it filters it down, and then we remake that variable with the filter down data. So this is actually supposed to be orders. And let's actually perform a search right now. So let's go ahead and test this out. So if I want to search by product, so let's go ahead and search every item with the attribute of dishes. So if I do this, you can see our data got filtered down. So that GET request was passed in right here. So we can see that the product, because it's a parent-child relationship, it passed in the ID, but if this was anything else, it would be an actual name. So let's try this with status. So all orders with the status of pending. In this case, we're not going to filter anything because they're all pending, but you'll notice status equals to pending. So this data right here gets sent to our view. Our view passes it into that filter, filters down that query set, and renders it out. So that's our basic filter, but there's a few issues we have with this. So if I pull this up, right now, there's no way of actually changing up this information. So first of all, I don't want the customer because we're already on the customer page. So I want to take this out. And I also want to be able to start typing in an attribute and searching data down. So I'm sure we've all seen this where we're on a page, and as we start typing, the data already starts getting filtered. So we're not going to necessarily do that, but what we are going to have is the ability to type in part of a search, hit the search button, and then filter data that contains that. So let's start with date match. So we're going to customize our form a little bit. So in filters.py, I'll open this up here. And now we're only going to be working within here. So the first thing I want to do is add in a date range filter. So we need to run a quick import, and we're going to do from Django underscore filters import date filter. So capital D, capital F. And in here, what we're going to do is first exclude the customer attribute and the date because we're going to customize this. So if I do exclude, I can make a list right here and list in all the attributes we want to exclude. So we want to exclude customer and date created. Again, we're excluding this because we're going to customize it. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's how we're able to exclude a field. So even though we say we have all of them, because this is down the line, it runs this command and overrides it. So this needs to be exclude. And now if I open up my filter, there we go. So we have product and status. So let's go ahead and customize this. So we're going to create some custom attributes, and we're going to call the first one start underscore date. And this is going to be inheriting from date filter. So we're going to do date filter. And then we're going to do field name. So what field name is this actually related to? So we're actually creating a custom input field. So the field name is going to be field underscore name. And this is going to be based off of this attribute. So whatever the attribute is, and we can actually customize this name. I won't customize it for now, but now we need to specify the lookup expression. So lookup underscore expr is equal to, and we want to do the first one because this is the start date. I want to do greater than or equal to, and we could just do greater than, but I want it to be equal to a specific date. So it's a little bit more exact, and I'm going to copy and paste this, and then we're going to set the end date. So the end date is going to be less than or equal to, so L, and same thing. So now if I open up our filter, we're going to see two more attributes. So date created is greater than or equal to, and date created is less than. So if I do, let's just start typing in 12/3, 2019. Okay, so that's an exact match because we're saying anything less than that. So if I go one up, this should only give me these four, so it should take out that one item. So there we go. And if I do a less than match, it'll filter it down. So that's how we're able to do date range filters. So let's say I wanted to add in that lookup expression that lets me do a partial search. So there's no attribute right now that allows us to do that because everything is a dropdown because of the relationship. So really quick, I'm going to add a custom attribute here, and I'm going to run a migration. So I'm going to say something like note, and we're just going to do this character field. And if you're following along, you could just ignore this, just watch me do this and then custom build this out if you want later. But let's just go ahead and create this field and run a quick migration. Manage.py, make migrations. And we'll just migrate it, and I'm going to change some values really quick. So okay, so I'm also going to put those items out in the table now, and that's going to be in customer.html. And we're going to do, instead of category, we're just going to do note, and we'll pass it in right here. So order.note. So I just want to be able to see what's happening here. So by default, we're going to have a none value. So I think I can edit it from here. For some reason, that form's not working. We'll get into that later, but let's just go to our admin panel and update this. So admin, and this customer was John Doe Corp. So we'll just find an order created by John Doe, and we'll say hello world, and we'll find one more by John, and we'll just say hello. So if I do that and I customize my filter here, so in my filter, I'm going to run one more import, and I'm going to do, I can just do comma and then char filter. And you can really customize these attributes. There's a whole lot you can do if you look through the documentation. So the attribute was note, so based off of our model attribute. And we're just going to do, I'm actually going to copy and paste something really quick. So it's just that import, so char filter, and then the field name and the lookup expression. So I contains means ignore case sensitivity. So if we do this, and now we can run that search. So let's say we want to find all of them that keep have the value of hello, and if I do hello W, it starts filtering that down. So that makes our filter a little bit more dynamic, and that's all I have for this video. In the next video, we're actually going to work on pagination, and we're going to do that with a products table. So I'm going to add a few more items, and then when the items go above a certain count, like 5 or 10, you're going to notice pages start appearing, and we'll actually be able to click on pages and do this the Django way.